We are gonna have a super chill day here in the yarn dungeon. It's just you and me chit-chatting about some of my WIPs that I have going on. What is happening is I'm forgetting what I have already started, where I'm putting everything. So I really just need to sit down and reorganize everything, but I don't feel like doing that today, so I'd rather just chat about some of the yarn projects. One of these, I don't even know if I'm gonna finish. I guess we can just start with that one. So this is the Halloween Hirschner Shimmer yarn, and oh my gosh, I have another project that's out in the car with this, which is a blanket. That one I am gonna finish. So yeah, I do need to grab that because I've worked quite a bit on that this weekend. And we need to decide if I want to be done with it. So it's a C to C. Anyways, this is what's happening. I'm getting distracted all over the place. We just need to go from one project to the next. Okay, so this was originally going to be a tote. Like I was going to stop right here and then make one more panel and seam this together. I used the crochet spider stitch, which is a really good one for totes since it's a thick type of stitch, very condensed. There are many different ways that you can go about crocheting handles. I also do it on my knitting machine and my Lisette fork, but for this one I just was not in the mood, and like it's gonna last longer if I have an actual tote. So it was just like a plain canvas bag that I put on the inside as a liner for it, and then that actually had the handles with it too. And I find that I just like the look of it better too. Potentially, this is assuming that I'm keeping this one. This is what we need to decide. I'm going to just seam the parts together and then hand stitch the canvas tote on the inside. Why I'm thinking that I might not want to is because I started another project that is a tote with this exact yarn, and I didn't remember that was in there either. Okay, so that obviously I was planning on putting on the outside of this, so I put them in here so I would remember, but yeah, that didn't work. Okay, anyways. Okay, so this one is called Goblin. This one is Sorcerer, and it just looks very Sarah Sanderson. It's basically done. I mean, I already did the 2 panels. We have just a C to C workup on both sides, and then I did a slip stitch around the edge to connect them together because I like how that looks. So we get that look on the front, and then we have just the plain stitches on the back. It doesn't work for every project when I'm seaming things together, but for this one, I liked the feel for it. Again, I'm going to place a canvas tote inside here and seam them together. This one for sure is gonna get finished. I mean, I should have had this done already. Like, it should have been my first thing that I was working on this weekend. Practically done. 2 things left to do. Seam, weave in these ends. And there's not really that many, actually. There was only 3. Oh, there's another pin in here. And after that's done, I was gonna put these pins on here. Look how freaking cute that is. Joann Fabrics is supposed to be getting some of their pins from this year in, like, any day now. I've seen it on their site. Actually, I'm just gonna close up show you these instead of showing them one by one. So on Friday, I saw that they had a spot for the pins on their website, but nothing was available, and a lot of them weren't even available to ship yet, which means that it's just not there. So I'm hoping that this week we'll start to see some of the pins hit, and that was the idea, is I was going to use this to hold all my enamel pins. Actually, I'm just going to put one on right now. This little spell book is so cool. And I collect so many enamel pins throughout spooky season. Like, look at that. It just has a perfect canvas background for it. And it's nice and secure, especially with the C to C. It's just like a big, thick, chunky stitch. Some of these are really big and they have 2 things to hold on to them. I have my actual bag that I carry around with like my phone, my wallet, everything in there. And it's a coffin bag that has an actual insert to put enamel pins on. There's a cover over top of it. That way I don't have to worry about losing it. Even if these things come off, it'll just fall into that little area there. But I just wanted that to be a little bit bigger, just from seeing the tiny little bit that they had online from Joann Fabrics. There's gonna be some more enamel pins that I want. I find them everywhere. So it's like when I go apple picking, sometimes they have enamel pins for that apple orchard or haunted houses. Definitely gonna be a few at Spirit Halloween. I'm really hoping that we're gonna see some Beetlejuice ones this year. That would be amazing. Obviously, I'm going to need some Hocus Pocus ones for this, and I think I already have that. I just need to look through all of my other bags and if I've placed any on there. But normally, I don't let these sit around. It's not like I have a big bucket full of enamel pins. Like, this is the most pins that I have in one setting. I got a couple of Chucky enamel pins, I think it was last year or the year before, from Spirit Halloween, and that was like my favorite because I found Chucky inspired yarn from Michaels. It wasn't actually inspired by Chucky, but it looked very like Child's Play. This year, Arcane Fiberworks actually has Chucky inspired yarn, so I need to go back and find those. I definitely want to make a sweater out of that yarn, then put the enamel pins on it, maybe make like a little pocket, put some overalls on. There we go, we got a costume ready. So what do we think? Keep this, cake it up? Really, I don't feel strongly one way or the other, so I don't know that that's a great sign, right? It's not that I don't like it, I just have these other things going and I like that a lot better. Since we only have 80 days left to Halloween, I don't know that this needs to be something I have to get finished before Halloween. That's really what I'm trying to decide today, like which one of these absolutely has to get done. This one for sure does. So speaking of Arcane Fiberworks, this is the Ghostbusters yarn that they have on their site right now. I'm making a cardigan. It is almost done. Look how freaking gorgeous that is. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with this one. For a while there, I was working on it like every single night, a little bit here and there. And then I got distracted with some other ones. So I think this needs to be my #1 thing that I work on tonight. Like the only thing, really. It's the best way to help keep me focused on projects is like, you can only work on this tonight. This is the only thing. You have no other options. Don't even look at the other yarn, chilling in your yarn dungeon. Like just go elsewhere or just come here and just have one project. I have the back done, one of the sleeves, and the bottom here has the color avocado, and that's gonna go on the ribbing. I've also just started this morning the second sleeve. It will go fast if I just focus on this one because it's a double crochet for the entire thing, and I just need to finish one sleeve and the front part, which is a v-neck, and also the hood. That's not even hard either though, because the hood is just a square, and then I fold it over, seam the top, stitch the bottom onto this, and then there we go. We have a crochet hoodie sweater. Okay, I'm not gonna unravel it. Maybe I will just put it in my pile for after October. And my Haunted Manor, which isn't crochet, it's a little cross stitch thing. I have a little bit more to show you here. So I'm still working through the front page, and I have this part all done, working up on this one. What stopped me is that glow-in-the-dark yarn from Lion Brand. They just came out with some new stuff, a medium #4 weight. So it's gonna be the exact same as this. I want to do all the little ghosts. So right here I have the first one. I want to do all of these with the glow-in-the-dark. I just feel like that is way too perfect. Even though I have the yarn here, I'll use that for something else some other day. But we have a ton of ghosts in this thing. Like this whole section right here is covered. So I need to get some of that in white, which is why I've kind of just been going around the windows, and like obviously I just need to finish that tiny bit here, the top, and then this one is also done. I will say I'm not working on it as much as I should be because there is 9 pages of this. So I'm gonna have to set aside a day. Like I thought I could just kind of do it here and there, but I'm finding out very quickly that I need to actually write it down and remember to do this and stop starting new projects. That's just my main thing for this week anyways. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna stop all new projects until the end of October. That's just silly, and I know myself, it would never happen, and I would be super unhappy with it too. So I should just have this be my official project that I work at the end of the day to kind of just wind down for the night. I was really enjoying that. I would pick out like 2 movies, have that ready to go, and then when the movies were done, I was just like, okay, done. Now I get ready for bed, read a little bit of my books. There we go. Productive day. We got a bunch of things done, and we watched some Halloween movies too. Because I've been moving it around the house too, so it's been in my movie room, the yarn dungeon, the living room, my bedroom. Like it's been everywhere, which also didn't help keep track of what projects do I have going on, because I have everything all over the place. I highly suggest that if you're gonna get into this Haunted Manor, just get a tiny crate like this. Everything is in here, and even though it's like a little bit crazy on the bottom, I haven't had any issues so far with things getting tangled or losing pieces, especially because I have all the tiny pieces in this little Notion bag and the yarn bowl for all my little yarn scraps here, which I've used this a ton. Like I've gone through here, and even pieces like this that I didn't think was gonna work, like, oh, it's too short. No, I've actually been using it for a couple of things. So yeah, this was an excellent thing, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna be my official like cross stitch yarn bowl from Furls Crochet. They have like a new line that they came out with it, and I didn't know if I was gonna love this as a yarn bowl for like my crochet projects, because I do like my big giant yarn bowls. But for this, it's actually perfect. I think the big one would just be like too much almost. And here it's all compact, and I can actually just like set everything together. There we go. Even though I'm not traveling with this anymore, it's just gonna stay here. This is the end of the night workup project that I have until it's done. All 9 pages of it done. Oh my gosh. It doesn't have to be finished by October, but I really, really want it to. Like, this is something that, not this one in particular, but this is a project that I've wanted to work on for many, many years. And now that it's finally here, I don't want it to not be finished, you know? Does that make sense? Like, I want my Haunted Manor up. I want it somewhere here in the yarn dungeon. Anyways, before I go grab that blanket, I do have a little more Halloween from Bath & Body Works here to show you. Last week, there was this notification on their app that there was 50% off their entire Halloween lineup. The lineup literally just came out. It was like the week before that. This was online only. The notification went out after all the stores closed and everything. So I was like, there were a couple of candle holders that I was looking at, but I was gonna wait and see if and when they made it all the way to the end when there was a sale. But 50% off is pretty good. Plus, I had 2 Bath & Body Works gift cards, which I was saving to the end of the season, but I was like, you know what? No, this is the perfect time for it. So the first thing that I got, the Haunted House hand soap refillable container. This thing is so cool. Basically, anything that had this little cyclops on it, that was my favorite line. And the candy apple, that whole thing there with the slimy green, so freaking cool. There's just a lot of stuff going on all of this. But the eyeball, you know, that's my favorite. I mean, that was the only candle holder that I got this year. The eyeball that spun, and then it was like purple, and there's a bunch of confetti in there too. I have a cute little purple spider over here. I have a bunch of the soap refill stuff, but I was waiting and hoping that they were gonna have something like that for the Halloween. So yeah, I can just refill all of my foaming soap now. To go with it, I did get some of the vampire refillable soap. I think I'm gonna use this in the kitchen, actually. I think that would be perfect with just the eyeball, you know? Yeah, I think so. But vampire blood, we get 3.6 times the refills. I really love the vampire blood in the soap, and also the hand sanitizers. That's like my go-to. I had to get a couple of the hand sanitizers just so I would make it through like the entire year. I feel pretty confident that this is like a scent that's gonna keep coming back now, because every year it's just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now that we have the refillable soap, it's a full lineup. It's not just the candles or a mist or something like that. Like, this is definitely here to stay. Also, the laundry detergent too, which I did get that, but I haven't got the box from it yet. So whenever that arrives, I'll show you that. It was pretty freaking cool. The last thing I got was a candle holder. This one, I almost got it when I was in store. I don't know why. I just passed it. I was obsessed with the eyeball one. And so this one kind of flew under the radar. I'm going to take it out first because I hate that noise when the styrofoam, you know, like just moving styrofoam. So just like pause for a second. I'm going to unbox it and I'll come right back. Okay, that actually wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. It's the skeleton hearse. The little purple water globe. There's little confetti and stuff in there. I was super surprised that this was not sold out already. There was a carriage last year that never made it to any of the sales because it just flew off the shelf. But I'm pretty sure online now it's totally sold out. But maybe you can still find them in stores. Does it have batteries in it? Probably not. Oh, it does. Okay, pull and light up. Where's the button? Oh, in the back. Oh my gosh. It's just so cute. And I really do love this purple. Like the purple and red. Okay, so we have the skeleton face right in front there. Do we have anything on the side? Oh yeah, and then the side of that, the little drapes, the crimson red drapes all throughout it. We have another side version of it. And then the back, there's a little skeleton kitty. It's just the freaking best. Honestly, there are so many details on here that, yeah, this one is amazing. Wheels have spider webs in it. There's bats on the top. And then in the front, of course, we have the little eyeballs for the headlight. And then obviously the 3-wick candle goes on the top right here. I need to redo completely my candle altar, which I do that every single year. I was planning on having the eyeball be the centerpiece. Now I think this needs to be. So it's like this in the middle, the eyeball. I don't know, I have like a spider web one. Maybe I'll put that on the other side. And I have a couple other little ones, some 1 wick, some 3 wicks to put all around. But you know, I think this needs to be it. The water globes are genuinely my favorite. Things that light up and move and have a candle on top of it, it just screams spooky Halloween to me. When the lights are shut off and I have a candle on here, either the pumpkin cinnamon roll or a day at the cafe. My pumpkin cinnamon roll ones sadly are almost gone. Like I just have one and it's about a quarter left. The day at the cafe though, we're still going strong. I have so many of those. Caramel macchiato, it's every morning thing and evening. But I like to have a couple of them going. So I have the caramel macchiato or a day at a cafe, and then I also have the bakery coffee one going at the same time, and then I alternate between that and the pumpkin cinnamon roll. So I don't know which one we'll have on top. Maybe the pumpkin one just to start off super spooky. But here's the very last project that I have. Not that I'm working on, because all of my cardigans, I haven't even shown those here today, and that's because those are officially getting done. I have 4 other cardigans or 4 other sweaters. I keep saying cardigans. I'm so not used to making sweaters that I am gonna get done before October. Like that is a must, an absolute. This is just projects that I've started that I'm like, okay, we need to decide here. Do I stop here for the width? That's the only thing I'm wondering about. The length, I'm still gonna go, but the width, I mean, it's a pretty decent throw at this moment. I think I maybe should stop here just so I have time to focus on other projects, but it's just so beautiful and it's such a fun project to do. Like it's mindless crochet. I've really been loving it. This has been my project that I take with me. Yes, I have been traveling with it, so if I have any time in the car, I'm like, hold on a second, let me grab my freaking blanket. Okay, we're good to go now. Like, it's not a tote bag anymore that I have. It's a giant, one of those bags from TJ Maxx or Marshall's, whatever. I don't remember which one it's from, but they're just really, really big, so you can get a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, all of this, and then I have like 3 or 4 skeins of yarn in there too, but I really, really love it, and it's such a fun one to work up. They're just projects sometimes that really hit with me, and even though it's a blanket, you know, there's nothing crazy about it. The stitch is a C to C. I'm just letting it play out by itself. I'm not doing a graph. This is how the yarn is working up. Like, I am literally doing nothing. It is doing the work for me. I just love it. I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with it. The other option is to keep going for another 5 inches. Honestly, I could go either way at this moment. So that's everything, I think. I feel a lot better now, just like chatting with you about this. I know the direction that I'm gonna go with everything. It's also nice that they're all in the same room too, so I can really see like, what do I need to get done? How far am I into every single project? Because when they're all spread out, it's just very easy for me to lose track, obviously. I mean, I didn't work on any of these this weekend. Well, the blanket I did a little bit, but everything else I didn't work on. I was like, I have so much time. Let's start some new projects with some new yarn. Now, we're officially set. I have all of the things in place. This is gonna stay out until it's finished. Fun, relaxing October. That is my goal every single year. And last year, it really was. Like, I enjoyed every single day. I was tired by the time we got to November, but I wasn't like frantically working on my projects. Like, all the projects I wanted, for the most part, I finished. So I don't want this to be the year that I don't finish any of them. Also, we haven't even chatted about my costumes yet, so we're gonna have another day to go all through that, because I have about 4 different directions that I'm thinking at this moment, and none of them have even really gotten started yet, so I do need to actually narrow that down a little bit. Like I said, it's 80 nights to Halloween, so we have 2 more rows to work up on our crochet along C2C blanket. The picture is coming along really nice now. Like, this is the part that's really, really fun. It's starting to develop. I have like 5 different strands of yarn going at any given time. We're really getting into the blanket now. Our movie for our 100 night countdown is Horns tonight. Little Daniel Radcliffe action. This is definitely not a specific to Halloween movie or like something that I have to watch during October, but I just feel like people don't talk about this movie enough. Obviously, it's a little bit campy. I don't really think there's any movies that I have that don't have at least a little bit of camp, so you should know that by now, but I'll say it again. It's a little campy. It's a little crazy. The ride is wild, but I love it. So if you haven't checked it out, pop that one in tonight with whatever you're crocheting on. For today, I'm gonna let you go. So thanks again. Seriously, I appreciate your help. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a spooky rest of your night, and I will see you girls tomorrow.